Hey guys, how we doing out there tonight on this wonderful November 7th, 1965. That's when I was born. Let's see, November 7th. What year are we in? When you're 55, you forget things. It's a glorious day for me. I did absolutely nothing. Which is what any guy wants to do on his birthday, or most guys anyways. It was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. Yeah, very relaxing. Let's see who we got out there today. Troy, good to see you. Mike, Paul, Glenn, welcome one and all, and anyone else that's out there. I see there's quite a number of you tuning in. And tonight, let's see. Tonight we got a few things in mind, and so we'll jump right in it. And thank you, Mike. I appreciate the birthday wishes as always. Okay, so what do we got tonight? Tonight, well, let's see. Let me read my own. Well, I wrote it somewhere. I got it memorized. Tonight, first, we're going to start off with a palm tree. I'll tell you the story behind that. Then we'll do a shop sign. I'll tell you the story behind that. And I'll probably sometime in the middle or at the end, I'll tell you guys, if you haven't already, how to enter for the free CNC controller. Let's see. And one of the other things that we're going to do is, if we have enough time, I'm preparing, hey, a phone call. Let's answer this phone call. It's probably spam. Hello? Apparently, dead silence. Spam it is. It's a beautiful thing. All right. You are hereby muted for the rest of the evening. So, folks, I answer them all because I'm expecting a couple important calls anyway, so I apologize if... Oh, what the... That's interesting. Okay, so... and thank you, cuz. Thank you for the happy birthday. There's my cousin Alex down there in the gang. So one of the things that I'd like to do after the a little bit of CNC design is later I'm going to go through a list. And for those of you in the construction industry or with any common sense in building can check me on the list and let me know if I've forgotten anything. But I'm going to go through a to-do list of everything you need to do, section by section, phase by phase, from the financing. It's a quick list. From buying the property all the way up to the CO, the Certificate of Occupancy for the house. So for those of you who either want to build your own house or want to hire a contractor and stuff, this is pretty nice information and it's informative. And for those of you that don't, it's still fun information. So anyway, like I said, like I say every week, if you guys got any Q&A as far as, well, thank you, Mark. Thank you. Get something to eat. Well, Mark, if you're back later by 9 o'clock, if you finish your food, let me know. I'll shoot you a link if you want to join me for part of the show there. You're always welcome. So just always let me know. And thank you for the birthday wishes, Mark. And get some grub. So as always, everyone's welcome to send any and all Q&A about any and all subject. I'm more than happy to respond. So the first thing we're going to do tonight is, all right, I've got a cousin who asked me to make a palm tree themed stocking holder. Okay, so a palm tree themed stocking holder. So if you will, so it's going to be something very, very simple. It's basically, I'm going to use plywood. Now here's the deal. I'm not going to lug out the big machine. I've got the shop set up for building CNC controllers because I'm not cutting on the Colossus until I move it into the new shop because there's just not enough space. And while it has a 6-foot length. I only got a 3-foot with this one. So whatever I make, whatever I design, and this sometimes is a problem for a lot of you, whatever I design has to be in 3-foot pieces, kind of like the Monty Python millions of 10,000 stringettes. They're all in 3-inch lengths. It's kind of useless, but so what I'm going to do is something that will, imagine, if you will, the base of the tree. I mean, I'm going to design the long part. It's a palm tree, and it's going to be basically like this and like this. I mean, it'll be a slotted. One side will fit into the other, and that's how it'll get put together. But in addition to that, it's not just 2 long pieces. I want to do it in sections. So number one, I can carry it in a car if I needed to, but or they can put it away. They don't need a 6-foot spot to put it away. It's nice and stackable. It's single pieces of plywood, and so that's what I'm coming up with. The palm tree leaves part of it will either put some hooks on them, just manual twisting hooks, or we'll kind of fashion it in a way, and we'll be looking at that, fashion it in a way so it can hold, with maybe a few little tails going up of the leaves. So although they normally all droop down, we'll have some going up so they can hold the stockings, and that'd be a nice addition for Christmas. Well, if we have time for the rest, we'll have time for the rest. And good evening, Kevin from Pennsylvania. Thank you again for the birthday wishes. Ed, good to see you all here. Let's dive in, shall we? Okay, so here we go. As always, we'll create a new file, and again, I'll be looking back and forth, but while I'm on this screen, I apologize, folks. I can't see the, actually, yes, I could. Let me turn on my YouTube channel and watch myself for the comments. That way, at least, I'll be able to see you guys, and I don't have to switch screens. Sorry I didn't have this ready beforehand, but, well, I have it ready now. Let's see here. Notifications. I should be in my own notifications. Of course, I'm not. Oh, here it is. Okay. It's difficult when you're, if I was one of my kids, there we go. I'd be able to, in seconds, I'll be able to do this, but, well, you know how it is. Good evening, Marcello. How are you? See, now I can see people. All right, so let's start off with now. I went online, and I just quickly, like 2 minutes before, you see this palm tree here. I just found a nice simple palm tree. So we'll go ahead and import that. Well, first of all, we'll start with a new thing, and as always, the new file that I have is 24 by 36, which is the entire size of my thing. So we'll of the bed. We'll do it as needed. We'll fix it as needed. So let's see. We're going to make this as simple as possible. So let's see if we can knock this off in 5 minutes. So shall we, guys? All right. So first of all, we import, of course. We go to the file, import, and we're going to import a bitmap, which is that one file on the desktop called Palm Tree. Open. There it is. Let me just make it a little bit larger. And we shall, with that, that's a good size, I think, to, yeah, that's a good size to scan. And we're going to just do a quick trace bitmap. And preview. Good, that's perfect. And apply. We'll worry about tweaking it later. Again, if I had a little more time, what I would do is I'd just go click, 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 and work on every single little curve. But for the moment, that's not what I'm doing. Okay, close. So at this point, I can hide my original bitmap, and here we go with the wonderful little tree. Now that we have this tree here, let's make it as big as we can without going crazy. Yeah, that's good. And then move it to the top, because what I'm going to do with the bottom is a little bit different. What I'm basically going to do is the following. Let's see here. Let's go to the drawing tab. We're going to go to the nodes, and we are going to select all these nodes. Well, actually, let's select these nodes. Oops. We didn't select those nodes. Sorry, folks. There we go. Just these nodes here. Why is this not working here? Hang on. Was the wrong delete button. Oh, yeah, because I didn't use the D. All right, so select this, D, select this, D, select this, D. I just deleted all the nodes. And what I basically want to do is nothing more than, all right, I want to have one node down here. I want to have one node over here. And the rest of the nodes could just go the way of the dodo. Because I am basically making a stick. Now on the bottom, I'll make a nice big thick base, but I'm not going to worry about that now. And in fact, let's see here. Okay. Okay, Mike can't do this. He's getting nothing but buffering with a word. Okay, folks, is everybody doing that, or just Mike? How am I coming in? Just want to check that, make sure it's not me, because I should have a good signal here. Should. Okay, good. I'm coming in solid. Okay, perfect. Okay, just unfortunately, Mike's not having a good internet day. I get that. All right, so folks, basically, like I said, let me just go ahead and zoom in here and just remove the rest of these. And that's what I'm doing with that. Now, eventually, what I would like to do is go click, 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 and just do a bunch of curves, do a very simple palm tree. But for now, it's a nice little complicated one. So here's the palm tree as it stands by itself. Now, we're going to duplicate this. We're going to create two palm trees. But we're going to do one better because, let's see here. Oops, sorry. Here we go. At this point, what I'd like to do is I'm going to take the palm tree now. Let me see where we're at. We're at, okay, this is 10. Let me see what I can do to make it at least 8 inches big or so. 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. And 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. Yeah, that's going to change the dimensions quite a bit. But let's see here. Let's see what we can do here. I don't know. Well, I'll worry about this part in a little bit. Hang on. Let me see what I can do. Let me just get rid of these and do it this way. I don't know if it's going to look good, but we'll fix it if it's not. So, I need to have a wider base because, yeah, and I know it's not going to look great, but it's got to have that wider base. 6 inches is good. So let's do that. I know it's a goofy little thing, but what we'll probably do is bring it in a little over here. Well, bring it in a little over here. Sorry. And likewise, we'll bring it. I always pick the wrong one. Come on, will you give me this one? There you go. So what we want to do is now I'm trying to think ahead because the base is going to be quite long. Yeah, Queen Sable or Royal? Yeah, it's a good question. If it was Royal, it'd be thick and wavy. But we'll do the details after. I just want to get the basic shape. Now, here's the thing about this one. We're going to have 2 pieces of palm tree. And this is where it gets complicated. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and make it smaller for the sake of just to be a little more practical. So here's what I'm going to do. It's going to be smaller, but I'm going to take these 2 and basically drag this down. So let's just say that was 6 foot. Then we shall take this, copy it, and paste it. All right, so now we have 2 pieces. I'll worry about slicing it up in a little bit. In fact, I'm going to do that little slicing up now. The first piece will be only the top. So let's go up here to the top. And I am going to do this. I'm going to take this here and, oops, sorry about that, folks. I'm going to take this here and I'm going to subtract it. Bam. Hey, hello. Sorry. It helps if I have 2 items. Actually, subtract this. Hope. Let me see if I chose it right. Yeah, this minus this. Okay. So boom. Undo. I added by accident. There it is. All right. So I've got my top piece. You see, there's my top piece. Now, one thing I want to do with my top piece is I want to, as much as I can, create a notch here. Yeah, this is going to be tough, but nope, it's not going to be tough. Okay, so I shall create a notch on half of this. Let's see. Wow, yeah, it's going to be an interesting thing. Okay, this top piece will fit. I'm sorry, folks, that I didn't plan it out ahead of time. I'm actually thinking on my feet here, and it's not a great thing. Okay, so whatever. We'll just pretend that's 3/4 of an inch. I'll fix all the widths after. Close this, then do this minus this, and zap. All right. So, okay, let me read a few of the comments here. Type of palm tree. Okay, what if you made the trunk and then the leaves separate? Yeah, I could do that as well. Okay, so this piece fits on top of, and now this is the part that gets a little hairy. You see this little piece here? I'm going to, okay, so I got to cut a notch out of the top of this. So let's say I cut a notch this big and move it straight over. Where am I? All right, and then I'll do the old this minus this equals this. All right, so as you see, this piece will slip on top of this piece. So we have the top of the palm tree. Okay, that's wonderful. That's great. Now we need to go a little bit further. Sorry, folks, this mouse is not the best in the world. A little bit further here, and let's separate it. Let's just say we're going to separate it here. I think this is going to be a lot easier than I thought. Hang on a second. Close. So these minus this, bam. All right, and then this piece, of course, slides on top of here. So this piece has to slide underneath. So I will need to do the following. I will need to have, again, this is all just really extremely rough, but it is what it is. Apply that one. Let's go from here, and then we'll do this one. And then, yeah, I guess that'll be good for now. Oh, yeah, we need, and we need the bottom. So this one, you're wondering already what I'm doing. Some of you already know. Close. Let me do the old this minus this, subtract. These minus this, subtract. All right, folks, here's what happens. Oh, yeah, and I do need one on the, no, let me see. Okay, so this fits on top of here. This one, okay, so imagine, if you will, here's the top piece. Well, let's start with the bottom. Here's the bottom base. This one slips on top. See, this is where it gets a little hairy. Okay. This will fit here, but then there'll be no way to connect the top and the bottom there. So this will have to be taller. Alrighty. This can go there. I'm going to be doing a little bit of reconstruction here. Oh, that didn't want to fill it. I wanted. Let's see, a line. I keep clicking the fillet instead of the line. That's what I want. All right, so this, get a line in there. Let's see if it does it the right way first time. Yes, and yes. All right, so I've got my thing back. So this piece is the bottom. This piece will fit on top. Now the problem is I need, okay, this, I mean, this is a very tall piece. Basically, we're going to do something like this. Let's do this here. They all have to have curves. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I got this now. All right, so let's just... these two are the only two. This one has to be longer, and that one has to be shorter. But yeah, all I have to do is just offset these two, and I'll be fine. So, if I do this minus this, I just got to do all the calculations for the to have all the right curves on there. But basically, okay, this tall one will go in here. That means this will have to be a taller thing. Yeah, that's a tough one because if I put this one down, guys, you know, feel free to shout out if you got a answer to this puzzle. If I put this one, it's very difficult without having the pieces in my hand. If I put this piece here, let's call this 1. Oh, I hate that script. Let me see. 1. All right, close. Let's call this 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I may have to adjust or readjust or do something there, but let's see. Okay, 1 starts at the bottom. 2 fits into 1. Not a problem. 3 can fit into 2. See, there's a problem. 3 fits into 2. I mean, I'll have to do one of these jobs. Hang on. So 3 will fit into 2. One will fit into 2. 2 will fit into 3. Then 4 can't fit into there. So 4 has to be, so basically this one has to be extremely long. And therein lies the problem I have. It's got to be either 4 pieces. No. There's a way to do this. There's a way to do this. Oh, I know. No, that won't work. That one will go into that one. But then I don't have a way of getting number 4 in there. Unless I have a very long, I mean, I could do the very long tree. That's what I could do. Let me see here. Or put another piece here. This one definitely fits up there, and then it's left with the thing here. This one won't fit anywhere. Well, I'm not going to waste you guys' time figuring this one out, so let's move on to the next puzzle, which is a sign, because it's already 8:27, and we'll give this some thought and see what we come up with for next week. And if you guys have any suggestions, by all means, send them to javiunboxed@gmail.com. More than happy to hear your suggestions. Let me make sure nobody's nothing new here. All right, let's see what do we got here. Oh, great. All right. So, folks, let's save this. We'll call this palm tree. And we shall work on the next one. So, new. Now, this is going to be a nice, simple sign. We're looking for a sign that's approximately, well, it's got to be 24 inches in diameter because I don't have anything bigger. So, but actually, no, that's not true either. I'll just make it 36 by 24 and work with it that way. Now, the sign itself. Well, let's take a look and see if we got anything interesting as far as in the clip art in the borders, because there's always a nice border for a sign. I don't want any 3D stuff. Let me see if I find. See 2D vectors. There we go. Borders. I want 2D borders, not 3D borders. So let's go 2D vectors. There's some great ones there. This one's perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. All right, so I'll take this one, and nah, that one doesn't look as nice here. Let's try this one. Oh, that's much better. Let me see if I find something a little nicer. Yeah, I think that'll work even better. All right, we're making a sign for my other cousin. His son, he dedicated his general store to his son. His son's only like 1 or 2 years old now, so obviously it's he has no idea what's happening. But we are going to create a sign for his new general store. Let's stretch this out here. And it could not be simpler. It really could not be simpler. We're going to, first of all, we're going to take the sign. We found a nice little border. We're going to offset it by, I would say, 3/4 of an inch is a good offset. Let's make it a full inch. This is a nice big sign. So a full inch on the inside, offset, and there you go. Okay, great. Now on the inside of that, we're going to put, and here comes the tough part is, as always, for you guys, the toughest part of any one of these things is choosing the font. Now, in particular, let me see if I find one here. I'm looking for an old font, and I had it loaded here, but I don't know if it's loaded in the latest version here, so I'm going to have to look for it. Yeah, it's not loaded here. It's a Western type font. Now I got to remember the name of it. Perhaps you guys know. The one with like, let me see if I do a little search here on the internet for a second and find that name for you. Font, old Western, and there it is. There's a few of them. Carnivali is the one I was thinking of. But that's not exactly right. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Trocadero is a great font. All right, let's try Trocadero. See if we have it around here somewhere. I know I'm not streaming, guys. I'm just searching. I just don't want to pop up anything on the internet that might be a copyright violation or something. So, let's see. We got ourselves Trocadero. And I'm installing the font now. And now let's see if this thing installs in, problem is now I got to install it in Windows. And that means I got to find it first. There it is. Perfect. Nice, easy installation. Ah, yes. Thank you. Thanks, Al. I needed that. All righty. So we have ourselves, or we will as soon as I share the screen, we have ourselves now the font that we want. But I may have to save, close, and open. Let me see if this can pop it up. Because I just loaded it. And you never know with Windows or with all of these. Yeah, I got to restart. So save as. We'll just call it no assign. Close this. Open it up again. Open this up, and let's see if we got it now. It's under T for Trocadero. All right. And we're going to call it General Store. And actually, it will be General and then new line Store. Nice and big. And we'll bring in the leading a little bit, and actually this looks pretty good. All right, so there's General Store. Now we're gonna do one of these jobbies. Let's see, we'll use Impact. Nice, simple font. And then on the bottom, supplies and provisions. This is what he wants, so this is what he gets. We'll stretch this out a bit. This will be in the middle here. And this one, if I'm not mistaken, I probably am mistaken. Okay. Text is what I want. There was I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Which is this way. All right. Let's see what you guys are saying out there. Check your L in general. Hey, you're right. No, I'm not. What? Oh, yeah. Thanks. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and... oops. Come on. I just did this. There we go. Thanks for the double check there. So we got Noah's General Store, provisions, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Supplies and provisions. Now let's, obviously we'll take this, group it together. We shall take this, group it together. Hello. And we shall take all of this and just hit the center button. Bam. Everything's nice and aligned. Now let's just do a simple V-carve and see what happens. Shall we? All right, let's do that. And V-carve. Yeah, that's fine. Calculate. I don't want to go crazy with this, but that's the wrong one. Okay, I already can see it from here, folks. That's nice, but that's not what I want. Let's go back, remove this piece. We shall recalculate the V-carve. Now it's what I want. Okay. And then this, oh, it's still calculating. Sorry, I'm already ahead of this part. Okay, so now we'll take here and we'll go a 2D profile. 75 and end mill, 1/4 inch, and calculate. So here we go. Let's go ahead and run it and see what we got. This stupid. All right, here we go. Sorry, I had some notifications in my way. Preview all toolpaths. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, it's taking forever, but that's okay. It's really taking a while. Forgot to choose the clearance tool, folks, but you know what? I'm good with this. There we go. And general store. Okay. Extremely busy. I don't like it. I'm going to take off the middle sections. But for now, let's see what we got here. Okay, Noah's General Store. Yeah, I mean, that's nice, but as you guys can probably agree, this is all extremely too busy. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take off, let me ungroup this. I'm going to try a few things here, which is basically get rid of this, and you guys already see what I'm doing if for those of you seasoned guys. Nope, not the middle one, the outside one. I am taking off a layer, and it should look considerably better. The only thing I got to watch out for is, like, for instance, I had to watch out for the R, which was in two pieces. I had to get rid of it. Everything else should be fine. So let's do this and this. Include all of this again. Calculate. It's taking a while to calculate, folks, but no problem. Actually, here's my problem. I didn't use the clearance tool. Let me do that. Let me use the clearance tool, select the clearance tool. That'll be, we'll use 1/4 inch. All right, so calculate. And it's calculating a little faster. Ugh, still not enough. Let's use a 1/2 inch. The nice part about the new setup is that you actually have you can use 2 clearance tools. Okay, reset preview all toolpaths. All right, let's see here. Oh, thank you, Mario. Thank you. I appreciate the birthday wishes. Oh, I missed the O. And how about making the sign on an ark, like Noah's Ark? Yeah, but if you know my cousin, he's extremely specific. So he wanted general store. Let me get rid of just this and do a little recalculation here. Actually, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to do. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do. Okay, I'll do the V carve, and then I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to take these, which are the outer letters on both sides, and this. All right, technically this should work. I'm going to do a pocket toolpath with 1/4 inch end mill. Let's see how that works. Calculate. Yeah. Okay. So it'll look a little different. It'll look a little funny, guys. But trust me when I tell you, I think it's going to look nicer. All right. So here we go. We're doing all the V carve first, but the part of that V carve is going to be a little redundant because here's what I'm doing with the. Hey, my general store did not pop out like I thought it would. Did I forget to recalculate? Let's see. No, I calculated. Okay, let me try an 1/8 inch end mill because the Clearly that other one was too much. All right. Now we'll do the whole thing. Reset, preview all. Because the reason I'm getting rid of the, I'm doing the V-carve for the inner letters, but I don't need the V-carve around the signs. Let's see what we got here. It's okay, but not great. I wonder if a deeper V-carve might help. Oh no, it's at 1/2 inch. It's at 1/2 inch, so it's pretty deep. Hey, oh, I see what I did. Now I see exactly what I did, why it's not working. Sorry, folks, I didn't realize the pocket that I did. I didn't do it 1/2 inch. I did it at 1/4. That preview is probably the most single useful tool for this program. Anyways, this is the last thing I'll do, and then I'll send him the picture and see if he likes it, because I want to move on to my next subject, because I got just enough time. Oh, it's in one of those calculating moods. Calculating the third one. Why is it going up and down? Hang on, let me just stop this. And let me do, nope, that's what I was doing, calculate. Oh, okay, close, stop. Let me just do the 8th and get rid of this. That's better. Okay, that'll work nicely. Okay, so reset preview all toolpaths. And the reason I'm doing a pocket on this is because I want a straight, I don't want a V-carve on the general store. You see, it's layering now. It's going down and down and down. I want it solid. So there she blows. Hang on. And so the general store, the O looks funky and the R looks funky, and well, you know, I'll see what I can do about that. But basically, that's it. It's general store, supplies and provisions. That looks good. Now he can paint it any way he likes, you know, but basically here, let me put a black on this. So that looks a little better that way. I don't know why that R is not painted, but anyway, there you go, folks. There you go. All right, saving that and moving on to our wonderful little construction talk. Well, first and foremost, let me oh Paul just sorry, I'm reading now. I'm reading the comments. Try changing the finish color per layer. Well, there you go, Paul. Let's see, and let us try now. Let me go to the plane site. So, for those of you that let me make sure I have my slash pricing. There it is. Copy. Okay. So for those of you, I was copying and posting. Sorry, I can't do two things at once. That wish to enter for the Black Friday CNC Controller Giveaway that you haven't already, 1 entry per person. There is the, I just put it in the chat. You guys see it there. There's the entry. It's and for those of you that don't have the chat or oh shoot, let me put it on the to enter for a CNC controller giveaway. Sorry, folks. I know I've got a lot of people watching on Facebook as well, and I wanted to make sure they have the thing too. Although they'll probably it'll probably get, I don't know if it'll get blocked or not. It's a regular link. It won't. So, folks, if you haven't entered, feel free to enter. And on the day after Black Friday, that Saturday show, I'll be pulling a free winner or two that day, and probably just one, but we'll see. Because I'm getting close to my 100th CNC controller sale. If you want a good quality CNC controller for your DIY CNC for 4-axis with motors and everything, go to javibox.com or javi.com and go to the store, and you'll see it there. All right, so let's move on to, well, what I consider fun, but then again, I'm building a house, so let's see if I can. No, I'm just going to do it this way. I'll just scribble it down. No, I'm sure I can pull up some type of spreadsheet. There we go. All right, so here we go. Let me see if I can get a nice big. I'll share in a second, folks. Don't you worry. I know I'm not sharing yet. Yeah, this should be good. All right. Order. Okay, maybe not. All right. Let me share here for you guys. All right. I'm just going to make a simple, for those of you, I'm going to do a simple explanation of what you need to do. Order of, I don't know, construction and other stuff to build a house. That sounds good, and it barely fits. All right, so the first thing, of course, that you need to do in order to build a house is first find the land. So I'm not going to go into the details, but find the land, and I'll actually go as far as saying buy the land. This is, now once you have the land, you buy the land. The first step is to clear the land. Now I'm already past this phase for all you guys out there that have been following my Make Room for Javi channel. And let's see if I can actually spell. So after you clear the land, the next thing that has to happen is, well, actually, this should happen before. Let me do a little quick insert here and check local zoning building regulation, because that is very, very important. You got to check your setbacks. You got to check everything else. Now, let's say you've cleared the land. In no particular order, these next ones, you got a water source, dig well, or have well dug, whatever. Sewer source. And in the case that you don't have a sewer source, then septic dug. A electric company, I'll say research. Yeah, that's a big one. Let's see, what's the canvas your neighbors? Thank you, Alex. Because I mean, one of the first things I did do is I went around to all the neighbors, got a feel for them, and said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to be building, and stuff." And all of them said, "Yay, fantastic!" But one of them is clearly not happy with it. But that's his problem, not mine. So we got the neighbors. Okay, so now the next thing that you want to do is design your plans. Okay, so you want to design your plans, buy your plans. If you haven't designed your plans, just whatever. Once you design your plans, and I'll say rough idea. The next step is to have an architect sign seal plans, or get architecturally signed and sealed plans, whatever you want to put it. Okay, so we're there. We're already there. We've got all of that. We've taken care of that. Next thing that you want to do is you have the architectural plans. And again, these kind of things, if you're on a budget, then you got to check your budget first. But if you're all right with if you know that you're more than enough with the budget, then have the plans drawn first, and then you can do takeoff sheets, estimate materials, and labor. All right. So I've got my takeoff sheets. I know exactly what it's going to, roughly what it's going to cost. Make sure you put in a certain percentage for waste, for incidentals, for stuff that always happens, for prices going up. Like you guys know, prices for wood went up 3 times to 300% of normal in the last year or so because of COVID. If by some miracle there's a vaccine all of a sudden in the next month, and then everybody goes back to work, then it's going to be, hopefully it'll drop. But well, you know how that goes. We'll see what happens. So now you have everything pre-planned. You have your septic, you have your electric, or at least your electric company. You know what electric company it is, because you might not be able to put electric on your property except for a temporary for the thing. Now, checklist for permit. Do a checklist for all the things you need to pull the permit, because you're going to need certain things like you're going to need approval from zoning. You're going to need approval from health department, or here it's called oh my God, DERM, and Department of Environmental and Regulatory Management. It varies with each county. Once you have that, then submit permit. Okay, you submit the permit, and then and I'll include there resubmit if anything. All right. So you submitted the permit, you've obtained the permit. Obtained permit is once you're at that step, now comes the fun part, and this is the part that I'm working on right now. Is I'm actually creating a list. I call it CPM, critical path method, and we're coming up on the 9 o'clock hour, so I'll just go over by 5 or 10 minutes. And but Critical path method, for those of you that don't know, is it's basically a schedule of all the different things you need to do. And the reason why they call it critical path method is because there are certain things you have to do. For instance, I have to do the septic, but the only thing that's dependent on the septic is the final for the plumbing, and then the final for the plumbing, the final for the final for the house is dependent on the final for the plumbing passing. So that septic, you could do it now, or you could do it way, way, way at the end. So that's not important. But for instance, grading the land, that's the first thing that has to happen. And while the septic and grading the land are not dependent of each other at all, grading the land is dependent, is your setting up your foundation is dependent on grading the land, first of all. Calling for trucks for fill, et cetera, et cetera. All of that is dependent. So what you do is you're basically you have a flow chart of all the different sections and what they're dependent on. In other words, you can't put the walls up before the foundation's on. You can't put the foundation before the yada, yada, yada. Okay, so sometimes in a large commercial property, not to get too far into it, but sometimes you're doing the walls and you finish the walls and you finish the sheathing and the cabinet, you finished the dry-in, which means you finished stuff on the top. Well, sometimes all the roofing asphalt shingles didn't come in, but the kitchen did. Get ahead on the kitchen. Sometimes some things, go ahead of other things. But the whole idea is so you can have a timeline of stuff that's dependent on other stuff. So in case something changes, you can shift stuff around. And at the end, you'll know exactly how many days minimum your house will take to get built. So you've obtained the permit. So obviously, land grading is first. Then comes fill. Well, I'll call it fill and compaction. That's that's part of the land grading, really. So let's just fill and compaction, rough plumbing, rough electrical. Rough HVAC doesn't enter into it. So basically, rough plumbing and rough electrical, those have to be dug. Footers and foundation prep. Well, actually, that's under foundation. So let's put this here. Great. All right, rough plumbing, rough electrical, footers. Then, well, I should say footers prep. Yeah, footers and foundation prep is it. And then, of course, comes concrete pour. Once you have your concrete, the next section is, we'll call it structure. But the walls are next. Sheathing, wall sheathing, I should say. All right, where are you guys? See if anybody's got any comments in the meantime. So you got the structure, you got the walls, you got the wall sheathing. At this point, let's see, your rough plumbing and your rough electrical is in. You got your walls, you got your wall sheathing. Then comes, well, actually, let's call this exterior and load-bearing walls and wall sheeting. Then we got trusses, dry-in. Well, let's say trusses and roof sheeting. Pretty much at the end, Paul, under the house. It's going up through the attic, through the crawl space, whatever. So, that's one of the last things I'll do. But that will be done. I'm getting to that here. So we're coming close to that. So trusses and roof sheeting. All right. So we got the trusses up. Then comes dry-in, which we'll call it Tyvek and roof membrane. Again, it goes by different names, different orders, in different places. Many people do it differently. I'm just calling it this just for the sake of stuff off the top of my head. All right, so at this point, we have the roof dried in. We could put the roof tiles on, but there's no point in right now. I got to work on the inside, which will be next comes interior walls. That's not really part of the structure. I should call this shell. We'll call this shell. All right, interior walls. Now that I've got all the interior walls set up, and I know I'm going to be missing things here and there, which is why I have an insert button. All right, so we got interior walls. Now comes electrical, plumbing, HVAC, ductwork. We put the plenum in at the end when we get the HVAC. Okay, so electrical, plumbing, ductwork. Okay, we got all of that. Now we got the electrical, we got the plumbing, we got the ductwork. Then comes insulation, of course. And then after insulation, saying ceiling and walls, then comes the fun part: drywall, compound, or finish. Well, let me put drywall finish. Okay, now part of the plumbing, let's go ahead and insert one in here, is showers and it drains. Shower pans. Again, a lot of these things could be done simultaneously. It's not a big deal. But I don't want to do drywall finish until the showers are in there. Anyway, okay, so we have drywall finish. Now, once we got the drywall finish, let me see what we got. We don't want to do the electrical yet. I mean, the final electrical. We don't want to do the final plumbing. We don't want to put the counters. Yeah, we're pretty much done. Once the drywall finish, we just do the paint, prime and paint, interior. Meanwhile, we also have the exterior to worry about. So let's do concrete pour, shell, exterior, before we do the shoot the stupid mouse. Before we do the electrical and the plumbing, we'll do the roof, fascia, soffit, gutters, stucco, and that includes the scratch, the brown. I'll put a scratch. Brown, finish, or knockdown. And then, of course, paint on the exterior paint. Prime and paint interior. All right. Now we've got the outside and the inside all primed and painted. Now that the inside's all, then final electrical. That's lights. By the way, electrical here is composed of wiring, cans, boxes, outlets, breakers. Not outlets. All right. Got it. All right. Now we got the actual. Hello. Light fixtures and outlets and all covers. There are other minor things, and I'll put them in eventually or soon, but I'm doing a general list right now because I'm just rushing through this to knock it out in 5-10 minutes here for you guys, or 15 as the case may be. Okay, so now we have all the everything's done. Tile work will come last. So next thing we'll do is counters. Counters, vanities. Oh yeah, that's very important. I almost forgot. That's you can't forget this. Roof fascia, gutter, stucco. Before this, drying. Insert rows. Very important. Windows and doors. Yeah, I'm already building a house without any windows and doors. Let's see. Counters, vanities. What else do we need? Counters, vanities. You know, that's about it. Let's see. Now, interior walls. We'll also put here, insert rows, interior doors, and closet doors. Again, a lot of these things can be done at any time, but all right. Counters and vanities. That's the last thing, but that's going to take me a lot of time because the counters and vanities I'm building myself. All right, so now comes tile flooring, tiles. Thanks, Clyde. Good to see you. Good to see you. Happy birthday. I mean, thank you for the happy birthday. Yeah, tiles. Let's see, floor tiles. All right, so now that I've, let me see. Do I tile under the cabinets? Well, that depends, Glenn. That really depends. But I've got a lot of cabinets going on, and some people do, some people don't. Some people tile up to the vanity, some people don't. Some people, what they do is they put a like a piece of wood underneath, which I don't like doing. Some people just go straight onto the concrete, and some people put a different subfloor. But you're right. I'm better off if I actually cut, paste, delete. All right, so I'm better off if I do the floor tiles all around the whole thing, because the thing is, I've got a lot of counters in the kitchen, a lot. So it's going to be a little excessive, and I keep going back and forth about it myself. But it is better to have them just in case you decide to move stuff around and everything. You're never going to get those tiles again. You know how it is. But it depends on in answer to your question, it depends on the builder, and it depends on the situation. Because there's a lot of builders that they will put in most of the cabinetry for, like, obviously under the refrigerator, not a problem, because the fridge is just an appliance that comes in. It's kind of permanent because it has to be attached to an ice maker, but it rolls in over the tiles. So there's always tiles under that. Although I've seen some homes without it. The oven, same thing. The oven is the same as the fridge. I've seen some homes without it underneath, where they'll just put a little piece of concrete because you don't see it, so they don't care. But you know, it's not that big of a deal. But you're talking probably a couple hundred square feet total, which comes out to maybe 100 square feet. So which comes out to $200 to $300, and $200 to $300 in the grand scheme of a $400,000 house is no big deal. But when you're trying to pinch every penny, and it really doesn't make a difference, then everything I am doing is custom on the house. So now let's see. We've got counters, we've got vanities, we pretty much got everything painted. I'm trying to envision the house now. Everything on the interior is all taken care of. Plumbing fixtures. That should have been with the plumbing, but it's not one of the last things I do. But that's plumbing fixtures, kitchen fixtures. That actually has to be in this area. Plumbing, kitchen fixtures. And let's see. And basically now comes appliances. The house is done on the inside. And obviously I'll be inserting in here all the different areas, all the different inspection points, which will have to happen. But okay, so we've got appliances, we've got everything here. Next comes the fun part. Grading the driveway. Driveway fill. Hello. There we go. Driveway fill. Actually, before grading the driveway, insert. Grade exterior and plant grass seed. Basically, that finishes the exterior. Then you got to grade the driveway, driveway fill, and compaction. Hang on a second. And then lay pavers. Install LEDs. That's something that I'm doing, but that last one's for nothing. But basically, once you have the driveway all set up, even before the driveway, I've already got the COs. So at this point, once you have the appliances, let's go ahead and insert here. Insert. Obtain Certificate of Occupancy. And you're officially able to live in that house at that point. Then, the rest is just landscaping. The driveway is and then comes driveway and pool, permit, etc. This is for my purposes. Pool, house, permit, etc. because I'm not pulling those until the house is done. Gazebo and dock permit and etc. Again, and that all depends on whether I'll have money for this by that time. So anyway, there you go. I'll be working on these little things. Save as order of construction. I will work on those, and everybody have a wonderful evening, because I believe that pretty much does it for me. And folks, thank you all once again for coming. Next week, I don't know, we'll do a little Q&A. Perhaps we'll do another project. This will start getting interesting when I'm out there, and we'll be talking a little bit more about construction and stuff. You never know what you get with Javi Unboxed. It's always something, mostly CNC, but you never know. So you guys have a wonderful evening, and I hope you were watching me instead of the competition on TV, on national TV, whatever that was, because I've had enough of that. I'm tired. I'm tired of politics. I don't want to see another politic for another 3.5 years, at least. I just ignore it until then. Have a wonderful evening, folks. And good night. Have a happy day. I know I did.